guys, what's going on? Jimmy on Moto Vlogging today, and welcome back to another video. So, as you can see, today is, well, we're definitely not on the bike, we're definitely not in the garage, but you clicked on the video for one reason, and that is if that you are from my Instagram, or you've ever stumbled across it. I know over the past few posts, I've had quite a few people, asking me how I edit, how I do my videos and how I do my photos and stuff. So today's the photo side of it, and if I figure out a way to show you how I make my videos, then I'll definitely put that on in the future. As for today, guys, you guys that want to know, this is a video for you, and you guys that don't and have no interest in photographs, then you'll have to wait for the next one. I do apologise. So this photo you've seen here is of the shoot we went out on a couple of days ago, so I haven't posted this one yet. Yeah, basically you want to know how we kind of get to this sort of ending. If I completely, this is kind of what the photograph looks like when I straight up shot it. So as you can see, it doesn't look dark and as moody as this. With this one and all this kind of one we've been doing over the past couple of days, this autumn kind of vibe, I've been using presets for. So for this one, for example, I'll just completely reset that. That's how that photo looked when it came out of my camera. See, the one I've pretty much just used on that one was the Ember preset, and then fiddle around with a couple of the shadows and stuff. So really quickly, I'd rarely use Photoshop anymore to edit photos. I kind of just use Lightroom all the time. I only really use Photoshop if I'm like compositing anything into photos, like a fake headlight or anything like that, but Lightroom's just pretty much good enough for me. Smooths out, play with the shadows, all that sort of stuff, play with the colours, and then off onto Instagram it goes. Today I'm going to show you kind of how I edit my usual style, because this is kind of a new style I've been doing. So first thing I do when I get into Lightroom is kind of zoom in, see if the photo's in focus, because sometimes you look at this and think, that's a pretty good photo, and then you zoom in and it's just like, oh. So yeah, this one was kind of a usable photo. First thing I do is either, if I'm going for Instagram, it's usually a 5x7. I kind of want to get some detail in there. Still all in focus, still looking good. So yeah, next thing I do is kind of just look where I want to go with it, But yeah, the minute I'm kind of going for like a darker theme, so I just kind of whack that contrast up. All these tabs, to be honest, I'm no expert in Lightroom. I just know the basics of it, to be honest with you. So yeah, still in focus. All these down the side looking good. And then you'll notice in a lot of my photos, if you scroll down my Instagram, I very rarely have greens in the photograph. That's because I completely just get rid of the greens, turn them yellow. So over here, on the hue, you can change the colour of the green, make it yellow, make it green, make all these sort of colours whatever they want, like make the blues, purple, a lot of manipulation. So yeah, the kind of theme I go for at the minute, with it being October, is straight up making everything nice and dark and orange. And then Lightroom kind of has built-in vignettes. So if you know what a vignette is, it's kind of where the edge of the screen's darkened out. It kind of makes the interior of the photo stand out a little bit more. So already we've only played with the colouring and the contrast and put a vignette on. So yeah, what I've been doing lately is taking the clarity slider. This is kind of my favourite now. A lot of people first, when they use the clarity slider, will whack it up to full and be like, boom! But yeah, I'm not a massive fan of it. Everything looks too in focus. So yeah, kind of drop the clarity slider a bit, make it look a bit soft around the edges. Then what I usually do is use this paint tool up here and kind of paint around. Now something I do in every photo, unless it's of something within that colour, is take all of the blues out of a shot. Now if you look in most shots, like if you looked at this straight up, you'd be like, there's no blue at all in this shot. But if you crank the blue slider up, you'll see the sky, the road, the reflections off the sky are all blue. But as soon as you completely get rid of it, it kind of just brings that dark kind of vibe to it, which I kind of go for on my Instagram. It's I don't know, just kind of my shot. This is just the saturation slider now, so orange, whack it up and down. So basically it's taking like 2 minutes to just kind of fire through that, and that's the thing, there is no learning, or I've never been to school for anything like this. I've kind of just opened Lightroom one day, flicked around with a couple sliders and kind of built a basis on the kind of photographs that I like. Now the one thing that I do which is really powerful in photographs, which brings a lot to them, so this now I'm kind of happy with the rest of the photo. Only thing with this is the sky. The sky is just way too bland for me. I'm not going to put anything in like stars or anything, but if you come up to the exposure tab, you can kind of see what potential's in the sky. So this is kind of where we're at as a basis, and it looks just flat white. But if you start lowering the exposure, you can see kind of what the camera captured on the day. So there's a tool in Lightroom where it's kind of like a gradient mask. So basically you just drag it over, and then you can choose what you want to do to it. So whether you want to make it if you want to make that area contrasty or dark or this, that and the other, the one I use is dehaze. Now you can overuse this, you see what I'm saying, but if you just balance it, you get a nice little bit of the sky. So a lot of people, what they do when they take a static shot, for example, of a bike, is they probably take 2 exposures. So they'll take one of the bike in focus and all that, then they'll take one in the exact same spot again, usually on a tripod, and they'll take a photo of the sky. So when they put them into Photoshop and they layer them, it kind of looks like this. So this is kind of the way I just cheat. So yeah, we've got a little bit of sky in focus as well there. So I'm pretty much happy with this. All I'd probably do is just bump the entire saturation up a tad. And I'd probably put another vignette on it. So that there, boys and girls, this is what we're left with, and that's what we started with. Easy as that. That's ready to go on Instagram. Everything's all sharp, everything's in focus, and as well you can still change around with the crops. So if you have a look, the entire photo is edited like that. You can just kind of pick and choose your crop. If I was using this as a background, I'd probably do a 16:9, and I'd probably change the vignette so it's not for that. So there's another one. You can kind of just take one photo and you can do all sorts of different crops to it. So you can either do a left hand one as if you're looking down the road, flash it up a bit, take it over to the right. But to be honest with this one, I'm kind of liking this crop at the minute. Probably just take that vignette out a tad. So there's another photo I took as well. So there's this one of the other MT-07 I went out with. So again, this is how it started out. This is how I finished with it. This is how it started out, and if we completely reset it to how it was, it's nearly there. There's not much tweaking with this one. It's basically just the saturation and the colour changes, which to be honest is all I do with my photographs. There's not much putting stars in and this, that and the other. So again with this one, obviously I took this one in a portrait kind of shot, so I'm not exactly going to edit it in landscape. So again, 5:7 for that Instagram crop. Again, leaving a little bit of that sky in, because I always like to play with the sky. Again, if we look at the exposure, it captured a little bit of cloud. So actually the first thing I might do with this one, dehaze that and see what kind of potential we're holding in the clouds. Quite a lot. So already with that one, this one looks a hell of a lot better, even just putting the sky back into the photo. So again, whack that contrast up for me, make it nice and dark and moody. Play with the shadows. Again, down to the hue saturation, take all that green, make it orange. And then as well with the blue, watch how much it changes the mood of the photo. Straight away it's gone grey. You can still keep a tad bit of blue in if you really want to, but I completely just whack it out, make it like a moody day. Even if it's the sunniest day on earth, boom, it's now raining. So I'm still not a fan of the crop. Get a vignette on it, make it look a bit more dramatic. And then as well, like we were saying with the clarity sliders, so I'd basically colour all of the bike in. And if you can see that, that's my mask now, so that's kind of what I've played with. And we'll just make that, bump that clarity up a little bit, make that bike pop. So that's what we start with, and that's what we end with. When I ever get home from a shoot, whack the card straight into the laptop, upload everything in Lightroom, and either go to my go-to style, or sometimes if I'm a little bit bored and I've got a little bit of time to play with, I'll either throw a preset on there and have a little play around, learn some new stuff. But yeah, my go-to editing style is usually that. Never really use Photoshop, always use Lightroom. Even if you guys don't even understand photographs and you're just curious to how I edit them, I hope that kind of helped, or you're just intrigued, or you know, you want to get Lightroom yourself, get a free trial or whatever, and kind of go for it. So yeah, boys and girls, like I say, a completely different one, and something very different on the channel, but I know it's a curiosity thing for you guys that do watch. I'll try do one of these on my videos, but I don't think my computer will be able to handle editing a video as well as recording the screen, because I don't have the best computer. I can try it in a few different ways, but if I'm not happy with the outcome, then I probably won't upload it. So I hope this one did help, and if you did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like on the video. Any questions and stuff, leave them below. I probably will answer them. If you want to DM me on Instagram as well, I do reply to every DM I get, so I'm very active on there. But apart from that, guys, if you are riding today, ride safe, of course. But this has been GoPro Motovlogging, and I'm out, guys. Peace.